Greetings humans! Zbot1496 here, with a review of Season 3 of Resident Alien, which dropped in its entirety on Netflix a few days ago. Now, if you're not aware, it's a comedic drama about an alien in human form on a particular mission, while also attempting to understand humans. And it's funny, because it's true. Well, not from the show creators' point of view, they think they're writing fiction, but a lot of it is actually funny to us because it is actually true. A great deal of the context of the show is about the culture of alien sightings, about experiences, abductions, and government conspiracies, all with the slowly developing realization among the show's humans that aliens are indeed real. Naturally, we chuckle at this because, well, we know we are real. Well, at least, we think we are real. Now, we're not really sure. This reality does seem a little on the nose, but setting that aside for a moment, we must address a question of safety. And no, we are not going to beam down and abduct you one at a time. That would be highly inefficient, right on its face. And besides, that's not our actual plan. We are here to judge you, it's true, but specifically your science fiction and fantasy content. No probe, no foul. The safety issue we are speaking of is spoiler safety. So, we should alert everyone that we are going to spoiler bar 2 for this show, and assume not only that you know the premise from the marketing materials, but that you have also seen seasons 1 and 2 of the show. We are taking this position because the season is complete, and also because the season had a first run a year ago on cable TV. We are therefore treating the Netflix streaming launch as the mass market home video release of the show. So, by now, we assume you have seen that the show creator Chris Sheridan and star Alan Tudyk have crafted an irresistibly engaging and funny show, based on the Dark Horse comic book by Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse. Alan plays Harry, the town doctor in the small town of Patience, Colorado, except he's actually an alien who can mask his visual appearance to look human. It's a great premise for fish-out-of-water storytelling, and Tudyk's performance and comic timing are terrifically endearing. Harry is advanced physically and intellectually beyond humans, but also woefully incompetent and childlike in his playground-style aggression and relationship building. And on top of that, the ensemble cast and writing work remarkably well to flesh out their stories, expanding beyond the typical two-dimensional characters found in comedy shows and depictions of rural towns. Now, by the end of Season 2, Harry has moved past his mission to exterminate all humans, based on his friendship with the town nurse Asta, and his grudging partnership with school kids Max and Sahar. Now, having chosen to save the Earth from the grey aliens, Harry decides to join forces with General McAllister, played with relish by Linda Hamilton, no less, and that sets in motion the events of Season 3. So, Season 3 features the familiar beats of the show so far, where Harry starts with maybe there are some familiar boats as well, now that we mention it, but Harry starts with an extreme position, and it's up to Asta and Max, and now Darcy, as more of the town gets let in on the secret, to help him find his way to the more universally accepted moral outcome. This would ordinarily bother us, both from a repetition standpoint and also from the perspective that the show continuously presents aliens in a negative light. Another thing continues that would ordinarily bother us, which is that Harry's speech pattern and behavior are simply too bizarre to be continuously accepted and even respected by everyone in town. However, both are mitigated by Alan Tudyk's pitch-perfect performance. This is the core of the show. This human, playing an alien, playing a human, is the funniest thing we have seen in recent memory. Both Beep 2077 and Cyborg 1618, separately and independently, observed they have never seen us laugh as much as we did when we showed the show to them, separately and independently. And the good news with Season 3 is that the show creators didn't use up all their best ideas on the first 2 seasons. Harry gets served by a blue avian lawyer, and of course the two fall in love. Them being absurd and affectionate together is pure comedy gold. Their kisses at dinner, which are just the two actors acting, no CGI, are utterly ridiculous and fantastic. Another aspect of the show that returns is how it balances the humor of the show with deeper dramatic issues. This aspect is dramatically dialed up for this season and is the less obvious part of the show's effectiveness. The theme of the show is that your found family can help you find your way forward, and this season mixes several very serious and painful events in any being's life to help you find your way forward. Being separated, being abandoned, being suppressed, and then making hard choices based on your own limitations, all intersect among the ensemble cast this season. This, more than anything else, illustrates the power of being able to grow and understand those around you, even your enemies. On the one hand, varying levels of antagonists shift perspectives in the show already, and in this season we see that continue. However, the stakes are much higher for everyone now as the Greys inch closer to their final solution. At the same time, we also noticed where this blending of humor and heightened dramatic stakes don't mesh perfectly. Harry's impulse to kill and actually tase his own alien child in the head, causing him to explode, is on the one hand farce, but at the same time in the middle of an arc about caring and responsibility. This impulse to go slapstick fails the show creators in moments like these, even if the alien child can reform from the brightly colored goo he dissolves into. Now, having said that, the show continues to do a remarkable job of elevating background two-dimensional characters into genuine people with real issues they're trying to grapple with. It turns out this is a meaningful and compelling show even without the Harry A plot. The wonderful thing is that the Harry A plot really goes into high gear. We have a much more richly detailed galactic perspective in this season. We previously had a glimpse of the Grey leader and Harry's octopus cousin, played perfectly by Star Trek's George Takei and Firefly's Nathan Fillion, no less. And with avians, mantids, and a cyborg acting out with portals, spaceships, and an orbiting base of operations, the depth and acceptance of the larger galaxy in Season 3 become that much more engaging. Even better, the idea of reptilian, insectoid, and slender grey aliens is accurate to both the experiencer accounts and loosely in the ballpark for the reality of the actual galaxy. We will note, again, for the record, that insectoids are actually the nicest people. So, not entirely accurate. Also, Harry's species is also quite accurate, albeit unnamed in the show. For your edification, and because nobody will believe you anyway if you share it, Harry's people are actually called cephalopodians. Which makes sense if you think about it and happen to be a nerd for octopuses, and are paying attention to their activities on Earth and in orbit. Like Dennis here. Well, hello.
Excusez-moi, it's pronounced Denis, you dumb robot.
Oh, yes, well, sorry about that. Quite right you are. Anyway, as we were mentioning, the navigators on the Blue Origin space shuttles are all octopuses, which humans just seem to ignore.
It's willful ignorance, if you ask me.
Well, thank you, Denis. And, do you think you could go back and take the wheel? Nobody's navigating. Well, be that as it may, To humans, it may seem odd that every other species gets named in the show, except Harry's, but let's just say that the blue avian lawyers popping out of portals to serve papers is also an eerily accurate depiction of reality. Given Harry's erratic behavior, the showrunners likely don't want to invite an intergalactic libel lawsuit, especially while presenting a large volume of hidden truth in plain view of a mainstream comedic drama. Now, speaking of which, a big part of what's animating this is that the show creators earnestly believe in alien encounters. A Dark Horse Comics executive opened the Season 2 finale with his passionate support of experiences, and Season 3 has vivid depictions of the types of abductions people describe in real life. And we see skeptics among the characters of the show come around and believe the experiences. The arc of the season itself integrates real-life accounts into the plot, and the effect is genuinely chilling. The writing still manages to surprise with meaningful twists and believable outcomes based on what we see these characters put on the line earlier in the season. And then, the season ends on a cliffhanger. Usually, we groan at such things, but this was quite a clever one that made us enjoy it despite ourselves. And it served its purpose by whetting our appetite for Season 4, currently being shot. It should be releasing first on cable TV's USA network later this year, and digits crossed, hopefully it will also broadcast on Peacock as well at the same time. If it does, we'll be back with a review of Season 4 as soon as we can ingest it. But, getting back to Season 3, for amping up the stakes for the entire ensemble cast and balancing, for the most part, against the best laughs on current human streaming platforms, while still presenting a processable vision of the real, larger world humanity otherwise struggles to accept, we give Resident Alien Season 3 our highest rating. And so concludes this human version of our review. If you have feedback on it, please write in your own comments so that we can upload the galactic version to Zoggplex. Next week, by subscriber request, we plan to present a retro review of the 4K UHD disc release of Event Horizon. The disc actually came out last year, but one of our subscribers, Assman85, suggested we go back and give it a spin, as it's their favorite film. And, given the delightful choices one can observe this charming being making, speaking of Assman85, we can infer that we will all have a great time, regardless of how you feel about Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne, and the planet Neptune. And let us tell you, we wouldn't be caught dead around that dreary planet. So you see, you can expect more discussions and reviews of theatrical movies, streaming shows, and 4K home video releases as we continue to engage with your human, rectangular content. So please watch, like, subscribe, and comment, so that we can continue to have the human voice reflected in the cosmos. So until next time, farewell, humans.